What's going on, everyone? Welcome to podcast number 4. In this podcast, I'm going to be responding to KBS and Matt. As you can see on the screen, both of their questions are posted here. So, don't forget to leave a comment down below if you want me to answer one of your questions or you have a suggestion for a podcast or a video for me to make. Anything, really. I'm going to be responding to all of them. So, yeah, drop that in the comments down below. And with that being said, we'll hop right into it here. So, first, I'm going to answer KBS. She asked, do I find weakest and strongest pairs and trade them, or do I just trade the majors? I do rank the currency pairs, and I do keep it in mind, but something I've noticed actually is that recently, the US dollar has become a little stronger according to my ranking, and as I say that, we're getting near monthly demand. So maybe that's just a coincidence, I don't know, but it seems like it's all correlated, and it's weird how it all works. But I still do that, and as of now, I am just tracking the majors because of the nature of how I do my charts. I keep all my charts history on them. So basically, on the monthly, weekly, and the daily, I go back as far as my broker allows me to, and I draw out all of my zones. So it's kind of a lot of work. So I do just do the majors for now. I do have certain pairs like the CAD yen, British pound, Japanese yen, Euro Aussie, Euro JPY, and stuff like that, just to keep an eye on. But in the future, I do plan on, once I get a little better, I do plan on adding more pairs. But I probably will just stick to trading the daily entries on those pairs because a lot of the times the setups are the same. So, I guess I just did a long answer there, but a short answer for now, just the majors. But it is not a bad idea. Let's just say the dollar's coming into monthly demand, like it's getting there. And then, the Japanese yen is coming into a supply zone. Well, that's kind of showing you that, USD JPY might be good, or not. I guess that's a bad example. Let's just say, yeah, Euro USD. Yeah, so essentially what's happening is Euro USD is coming into monthly supply, which means that the euro is about to get weak. And then let's just say the Japanese yen is coming into demand. Well, that means that maybe Euro JPY would be a great short right now. So I plan on implementing that in the future. I've just been really focused on drawing my zones and getting everything right that I just haven't really had the time to draw up all of my other zones on all of the other pairs. Like I said, because of the way I draw them and I have the history on all of them, right? So yeah, hope that answers your question. Let me know if it does. Next question, Matt. Matt says, your channel is my Netflix. That's funny because when I first started trading, and I do this quite frequently now, but at the group I'm a little bit more busier, and YouTube a little bit more busier. But I used to do basically the same thing where I'd just be watching trading videos all day long. Whether it be like Moneyball Austin or Starhouse Analytics or a couple other guys where I just watch their stuff all day long. Then I'm out in public or hanging out with family and friends, and they say, "Oh, what are you watching on TV lately?" And I'm like, I just say nothing. I don't really watch TV, even though I do watch some Netflix every now and then. But yeah, I'm just kind of watching trading videos. So it's good that you're watching all these videos. Like something that I used to do is watch Moneyball Austin's just like analysis videos all the time, just to get used to the terminology, just get used to everything, right? So good on you for sticking with it. So he says, your channel is my Netflix, true excitement and inspiration. Love this. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Question, what advice would you tell yourself if you could go back in time when you first started trading, especially considering when most of us start out with small accounts, etc.? I know you touched on this a little bit there with your journaling in this video. Great work. Keep it up. Cheers. Thank you. So, yeah, his question was, what advice would you tell yourself if you could go back in time when I first started trading? There's a lot of stuff, obviously, right? It'd be like, don't waste your time with that support and resistance strategy and stuff like that, right? But, to be more in general, I would definitely tell myself to relax. It's going to take time. Put in the work. Try to ask why. That's a huge thing, is asking why. Oh, that's a demand zone. Why? Oh, this supply zone removed this demand zone. Why? Okay, why was that a demand zone? That supply removed that demand zone, but why was that a demand zone? You know what I mean? So, I don't really have one thing, but I would just say asking why all the time and realizing, and I would definitely tell myself, like, slow down. This is going to take a while. It's like anything else in life. It's going to take a long time to get good at this. And, when I first started out, I'm like, in 6 months, I'm going to be a full-time trader. I hate my job so much. I'm just going to be a full-time trader in 6 months. Nobody can tell me otherwise. And, obviously that doesn't work. I don't think that's ever worked. I highly doubt it. Maybe there's a couple people out there. I haven't heard of them. But yeah, so basically just telling myself, yeah, this is going to take a while. No, you're not going to be a full-time trader in 6 months. This is a lot of work. And another thing is, telling myself that this is a lot of work. This isn't just some, you sit on the charts for, an hour a day and draw out a couple zones. And next thing you know, you made like $400 in a day or something like that. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of, basically the markets aren't random. People like to tell you that the markets are random. They're not. There's a specific way that they work. And I'm not saying I know that way. I'm just saying it's not really random if you think about it, right? And everything makes sense. It's not just, there's a zone. Oh, look at that. It looks like a nice zone. Look at that. Nice move away. Probability score is 8. That's another thing that people like to say all the time is like, oh, the probability score, that's 8 based on, their rules. And that's fine. That's something that I would consider as well. But it's much more than that. Like, here's another example. Just like, oh, it's an engulfing candle, or it's a pin bar or whatever that, I don't really know what that means, but like, it's not just because it's a pin bar or just because it's engulfing. There's a reason behind that. Like, I was talking to somebody in the group today in private messaging, and we were talking about 50% candles. And before, when they were first introduced to me, I thought, oh, 50% candles, like, look at that. A lot of the times the zone, they work as good zones. I'm like, that's cool. Like, and I never really asked why. And then you think about it for a second, and what does a 50% candle look like on a smaller time frame? Well, it kind of looks like accumulation, and that, in my opinion now, what I've been taught is that's the banks getting in. So asking why definitely helped me in that situation, instead of just thinking, oh, it's a 50% candle. Why is that a 50? Just because that's what it is, right? I don't know if I'm making any sense. I hope I am. So yeah, I kind of, to do a little summary here. What would I tell myself? I guess just it's gonna take a while. I would also remind myself, just learn supply and demand, because before I was learning a bunch of different shit too, which is fine. I have no regrets. I'm happy I learned everything I did, and everyone needs to realize that you're gonna have to fail before you succeed. So maybe that's something else I would have told myself. But, it's kind of a lot of stuff to get into. And then you mentioned when most of us start out with small accounts. Yeah, at first, your account's going to be small. Everybody's account's small at first. But, just don't worry about your account size or how much money you're making. Just worry about, and like, here's something that somebody told me once. Don't worry about growing your trading account. Worry about growing your trading skills. I don't think that was the exact quote, but it was something along those lines. Like, yeah, you want to make gains in your knowledge at first, not really in your trading account. Obviously, if you can make gains in your trading account at the same time, that's better. But, you should be focused on improving yourself as a trader rather than, making your account bigger. So, hope that all made sense. Hope you guys like this one. Like I said, leave a comment down below for something I can talk about in the next podcast. Have a good one.